In this episode, I want to focus on perhaps the most influential aspect of your business, your value proposition. It's the reason your customers do business with you and why they either love what you do or decide to go elsewhere. Let's make sure they fall in love with your business. Ready to nail down a win on stage 4 of this year's Tour to Profit? Let's get into it.
Welcome to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It, a show helping small business owners build a radically engaged team that can run the business without you so you can remove the stress from owning a business and enjoy the freedom you deserve. Now, here's your host, Rich Allen.
Today you'll learn that while most business owners focus on the price of their products or services, that's not what matters most. That your value proposition should be focused on the emotions and feelings that your customers have when they do business with you. And that when you structure your business to deliver the right feelings, your customers will become raving fans and will share their experiences with everyone they meet. Here's my question for you this week. What feelings do your customers have when they do business with you? Most customers choose where to shop or where to get service or where to eat based on the feelings about the people, the place, and the setting that they'll be in. In fact, the statistics are that 85% of a buying decision is based on emotion or feelings, which suggests that only 15% of a buying decision is based on logic or price. Think about that for a minute. Where did you last go out to eat? If I ask you to describe the feelings you had when you were there, could you do it? My bet is you could. And most likely, it was either a positive set of feelings or a negative set of feelings. Where do you typically buy your groceries? Why do you go there? My bet is it's because you have good feelings about that particular place to get your grocery items. How about when you travel? What's your favorite hotel to stay at when you're on the road? My bet is you have one. And why is that your favorite? Likely it's because you have good feelings about staying at that particular hotel. You see, as customers, we make our buying decisions largely based on feelings that we have about that place of business. But if that's truly how consumers make buying decisions, why do business owners spend so much time and effort focused on the price of the products and services that they offer rather than on the feelings that their customers have when they do business with them? It's always puzzled me a bit. I can honestly say that as I meet with business owners and I ask them about their business, they're far more concerned with their pricing model than they are about how they make their customers feel. Yet customers seem far more concerned with the feelings than they are with the price. Don't believe me? Okay, here's a quick test. If you're a coffee drinker, where do you typically buy your coffee? Do you prefer to get your coffee from the nearest 7-Eleven or racetrack gas station? You can get a coffee there for just over $1. Or do you shop at a Starbucks or a specialty coffee shop for your morning cup of joe, where you pay $3 to $5 or more for the same 16 ounces of caffeine? I'm sure that 7-Eleven sells a lot of coffee, but I also see long lines wrapped around every Starbucks coffee shop I pass. I'll be honest to tell you that I have one special coffee shop that I prefer for my morning cup of coffee, Summer Moon Coffee. It's a local coffee shop that has a very cool vibe, and they have a special creamer that they use in their coffee that tastes more like drinking a milkshake than drinking a coffee. And it's not cheap. I pay $7 or more every time I stop at Summer Moon, far more than I would if I stopped at 7-Eleven. But I like how it makes me feel, far more than I think about the fact that it's 3 times more expensive than the coffee at 7-Eleven. Why is that? It's because as a consumer, just like you, I choose to frequent the business that makes me feel the way I want to feel. So let me ask you, should Summer Moon be concerned with the price of their coffee drinks? Or should they be more concerned with the vibe and the feelings that their customers get when they walk into their coffee shop? I'd suggest their focus should be heavily weighted towards worrying about the feelings they give their customers. So if that's true for Summer Moon Coffee Shop, what about your business? Should you be more concerned with the price of your products or services, or should you be more concerned with the feelings that your customers have when they walk into your place of business, or when they show up on your website, or when they call into your receptionist? I'd suggest that the feelings you give your customers are far more important than the price of your products and services, which is why it's so important for you to know what your customers are feeling when they engage with your business, and why it's so important for you to make sure your team members know what feeling you want your customers to feel when they engage with them. I followed this advice many years ago when I was challenged to ask my customers how working with me made them feel. I'll admit it was a bit awkward to ask, but when I did, I got some real clarity on what they were feeling and what made them keep coming back to work with me week after week, month after month. In fact, their feedback was so clear and compelling that I had 3 words stenciled on the wall of my office so I would not forget what my primary job was when working with my clients. The 3 words were clarity, confidence, and commitment. My customers told me that the reason they were willing to spend their time and money working with me was because of 3 specific feelings. Because I helped them get clarity on what they wanted their business to look like in the future, because I gave them confidence that if they used my methodology and followed the program, they would get where they wanted to go, and because I inspired them to make the commitment to do the hard work necessary to achieve their big goals. What I realized was that making sure each and every client got the feelings of clarity, confidence, and commitment each time they engaged with me was far more important than the fees I charged for my services. I've never forgotten that making sure I deliver these specific feelings are far more important than anything else in my business, which is why many of my clients have worked with me for many years. So how about you? If you own a small animal veterinary practice, how do you want your pet owners to feel every time they bring their cat or dog into your clinic for care or treatment? If you own a daycare, how do you want your parents to feel every time they drop off or pick up their precious little son or daughter? If you own a CPA firm, how do you want your business owner clients to feel each time you update their books or do their taxes? If you own a retail shop, how do you want your visitors to feel each time they walk into your shop to see the latest seasonal products? If you own a digital marketing agency, how do you want your customers to feel each time you give them an update on their website visits and social media presence? You see, as business owners, we each have our own unique set of feelings that will inspire, motivate, or attract our ideal customer. We've got to think about this more often, validate the feelings we're giving them on a more frequent basis, and share our intended feelings with our team on a regular basis. Remember, 85% of a buying decision is based on our feelings. Only 15% of a buying decision is based on price. We need to make sure our efforts are aligned with this 85-15 model. Don't underestimate the impact that feelings have on your customers. It's not everything, but it's far more than we often give it time, attention, and credit. Your assignment this week is to ask your best customers how they feel when they do business with you. Then make sure that that happens for every customer and every new prospect. Do this, and you'll post a win in stage 4 of this year's race. As we wrap up today's podcast, let me leave you with these simple thoughts. Number 1, your value proposition should be stated in terms of the feelings your customers have when they do business with you. Number 2, feelings and emotions are far more impactful to customers than price. It's not even close. And number 3, the best way to determine which feelings you should focus on and deliver to your customers is to ask them. If you'd like some additional support as we ride this Tour to Profit race or want to tap into our free resources, simply go to my website, tourtoprofit.com. You'll find everything you need there. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to tune in next week when we're going to discuss bringing your value proposition to life. You won't want to miss it. Now, go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.
Thank you for listening to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends so you don't ever miss an episode. Now go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.